Breaking news with Based and Bougie. So, guys, the community at Lake District are standing on business and they are not having it when it comes to this mega mosque being built in the area. Let's get into it, guys. So a new project has launched in Lake District where they are basically spending 2.5 million to build a mega mosque. Not a small mosque, not a medium mosque, but a mega
second
mosque.
Ramadan
Okay?
to the second Dhul Hijjah. This is how far we've come, Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuhu from the South Lakes in the northwest of England, where we're building the first masjid in a 50-mile radius. We are in the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, the most beloved days to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where the reward for good deeds are multiplied many times over. I seek your help in these blessed days. Please donate generously, please make dua, and please share my plea.
This is Ollie.
And I'm a Muslim.
And Ollie doesn't have a mosque.
And I want one.
So we're here building the first ever mosque in South Lakes for the whole entire Lake District.
So you know what to do. Click the link somewhere around this video or find the link in our bio and...
help Ollie.
And on that note...
cheerio!
I'm standing at the site of the first masjid in the Lake District. Muslims have actually lived and worked in this area for over 40 years, but we still have no masjid, no madrasa, and no janaza facilities in a 50-mile radius. This piece of land was actually acquired during COVID times, and after some initial hurdles and setbacks, work is finally underway, as you can see.
Now, the locals are not happy with this at all. In fact, they are actually trying to counter this. They are counter-protesting this. They do not want this to happen at all. And the reason why they do not want this to happen is because, one, they don't feel like this reflects their community. Okay, so 0.4% of the Lake District community or population is Muslim. 0.4%. So it's not even 1%, 0.4%. So why the community or whoever's in charge of this project is spending 2.5 million for a community that's 0.4%? Like, put race to the side, put religion to the side, put prejudice to the side. This has nothing to do with prejudice, guys. Let's take out that before anyone comes and comments I'm being racist. No, let's just put the racism aside for a second. You're spending 2.5 million on 0.4% of the population. That makes zero to no sense. That could go into a new grocery store, that can go into a new school, that can go into a church, since this is a Christian country, but it's going into this very minute community, and people are pretty much confused and don't think this is necessary.
So we're in the Lake District today in a place called Dalton-in-Furness. It's a lovely little village town in the Lake District, and we're at the site where a 2.5 million mega mosque is being built. This is a very white British area, a lovely area of the Lake District, and there's no need for a mega mosque to be built here. The purpose of this mosque being built here is so that an Islamic community moves in straight afterwards and changes the demographic makeup of this lovely little area. We're here today to do a report on this because it's just shocking. Every town and city in the UK is being taken over, and it's about people that stand up and do something and say enough is enough, we don't want this anymore.
Not only that, but a lot of the locals have said the reason why they need this mega mosque is because they are tired of traveling 1 hour to other mosques to go and pray. And listen, here's my thing. I think everyone has a right to pray. Everyone has a right to express their religion and their culture and so on and so forth. However, one thing I've noticed with the Muslim community, and I'm just giving London as an example, is that we have thousands of mosques here in the UK. Thousands of mosques, more than necessary, okay, more than the actual population, I'm sure. No, I'm joking. However, you will still see Muslims praying in the middle of the road, praying next to Big Ben, praying everywhere in every corner of the city except the actual mosques. So that's why I find this argument that they have nowhere to pray to be slightly hilarious, because one thing about Muslims, they are going to pray everywhere, and big up them for loving their religion to that extent. However, I side with the community in the sense that if, you know, the Muslim population made up 20% or made up 30%, I would understand. But 0.4, that's not necessary. But again, it's symbolic of our country continuously pumping in money into communities except the actual British English community, which makes no sense. As you can imagine, the communists turn up out of nowhere.
I was there, and you know exactly how it went. Your words, your demeanour can cause me to believe. But you don't want to know the effing, do you? That's what you're trying to get at. That wasn't effing. It's nothing to do with it. Exactly, it wasn't effing. Shouting well, they're allowed to call us Nazis, and you allow that. You're allowing that. Well, I'm not leaving. If you don't leave, you're going to get locked up. For a section 35, you'll have me in custody. You'll have me in custody. Oh, I can't. You're under arrest. Okay. What? You're under arrest for failing to disperse the required to do so. Okay. You don't say anything about offence. I'm not with him. I'm with him. I'm with her.
But guys, you see these communists stand up to racism. I am so convinced they're being paid. Like, not, I'm convinced, because how did they always know where these protests are taking place? How did they always turn up on time? Another thing I've noticed is, why are they always white? A lot of these stand up to racism Antifa mobs, they're always white. Okay, if racism was a serious issue, and if racism was a serious issue in this country, you would see Indians holding up these flags, you would see Muslims holding up these flags, you would see Africans holding up these flags. But yet you always see these very leftist looking white people, these purple pixie haircuts, you know, standing here. Something is convincing me that these people are being paid, especially after what happened in Epping, when you saw the police literally escorting this community as if they were this privileged bunch of people who needed protecting. But I find it so hilarious how they're always on time, they always know where to go, they always have their signs ready. It's like there's a whole warehouse of these signs that they hand out to people just before they're about to leave. And I believe they're being paid. I'm going to really look into this. But the reason why I'm reporting on this is because the pushback is not only just coming from the actual community and the locals, but the pushback is actually coming from the construction workers. The pushback is actually coming from the builders. So apparently the builders are actually saying they do not want no parts of this. I mean, some of the builders are even refusing to export concrete to build this mosque. And I don't blame them, because it's not necessary. That 2.5 million can go into building a new Waitrose or a new Asda. It can go into a new school. It can go into something that's needed and necessary, not to what is 0.4%. That's what? That's probably 1,000, you know? So
work has already begun. Got all this equipment in. And thankfully, some of the local concrete suppliers are refusing to deal with this particular job. They won't have anything to do with it because there's no Muslim population in the Lake District. There's no need for a mega mosque. They want to put the mega mosque in first so that Muslims can move into the area.
Even local businesses have been refusing to deal with the mosque developers. They're refusing to supply building equipment and building materials that they need. Delivery drivers have been refusing to deliver the materials because people just don't want this here. And that's why the local community is saying, we won't work with the developers of this mega mosque because our community does not need it. So we're here today to say to the local community, Britain First stands with you against the building of this mega mosque.
So this site behind me is where the £2.5 million super mosque is going to be built. We're attracting a lot of beeps from passing motorists, even though the weather is terrible. And we've got our banner there. But this is where it's going to be situated. Now, there's no Islamic population anywhere in this vicinity, anywhere in this part of the country. There is no Islamic population. So why do they need a huge mega mosque? Well, it's simple. The mosque has to come first, followed by the Muslim immigration. So as soon as this mosque is built, Muslims can move into this area and they've got somewhere to worship. They can't move into the area and have nowhere to worship. That's not how their religion works. Pious, observing Muslims must have somewhere where they can observe their religion, they can worship. That's why the mosque is being built, because this area has been earmarked for mass Islamic immigration.
So that's what was shocking to me, to see that the actual people who have power to make this project happen, the construction workers, they are saying no. They see this as such an issue and such a threat that they will actually put their money and their finances and their paycheck to the side to ensure that this does not happen. The leader of this project even tried to downplay it and say, oh my gosh, no, we've just been having a late, delivery of concrete and so on and so forth. But evidence shows that the builders are actually refusing to take part of this. They said they do not want this ideology in their community. I don't think I'm Islamophobic or I have a hatred towards Muslims. If a Christian community said they wanted to spend 2.5 million to build a church in a predominantly Muslim area, I would say no, let the Muslims maintain their culture. However, when it comes to the English community and the Christian community, for some reason they don't have that right. And I know this because when I was looking and doing some research about this, a lot of the articles and the YouTube videos were just deeming these people as far right. Like, this title of far right and racist is so lazy, it's so boring, it makes no sense no more. Like, let people have their culture, let people have their traditions, let people maintain the communities that their ancestors fought for without having to be racist. It's a useless argument now. And can I also point out the number of registered churches in the UAE? Okay, so in Dubai there's 11 registered churches. In Qatar they have 6 registered churches. In Yemen they have 4 registered churches. In Kuwait they have 2 registered churches. In Saudi Arabia they have 0 registered churches. Why? Because the Muslim community or the Arab Middle Eastern community want to maintain their culture and traditions. However, when you come to the UK, in this certain area called Lake District, it has a population of 0.4% Muslims, but yet they are spending 2.5 million to build a mega mosque. It's becoming very obvious, this erosion of traditional English culture is becoming so obvious. Like, you can't even hide it no more. It makes no sense that every other country in the world is allowed to maintain their culture, allowed to maintain the religion, is allowed to maintain the traditions. As I've just pointed out, in the UAE they have less than 30 churches altogether. That wouldn't happen in Dubai or Qatar. This is another sign of just how much they're trying to erase traditional English Christian conservative culture. Anyways, guys, what is you guys' thoughts on this mega mosque being built in Lake District? And do you guys think that locals are racist? Do you think they're far right? Do you think they're bigoted? Or do you think it's fair for them to want to maintain what they've known for all of their lives, which is their traditional English Christian conservative culture being the majority in their town? Guys, if you want more videos like this, like, comment, and do not forget to subscribe. Bye, guys.